top with pretty Lavinia and unwed Henry, who brings about Hurricane Katrina and the price of progress. We will that Appalachian crab by the river's edge. There's a storm coming, but it ain't that Carolina drama. That's Alabama bound. It's murder ballads that's coming to town.
I'm here with Country Diggers. Welcome to the Speakeasy. Today I'm going to be singing a murder ballad called Caleb Meyer. It's from Gillian Welch. And if you hear that scratching on my door, it's my cat. He's not allowed in this room. So I'm sorry about the noise. He's just not allowed in here. But let's get to the song and the story. All right. Caleb Meyer by Gillian Welch. Caleb Meyer, he lived alone in them Halloween pines, and he made a little whiskey for himself, said it helped pass the time. Long one evening in back of my house, Caleb came around and called my name till I went out with no one else around. Caleb Meyer, your ghost is gone, I wear them rattling chains. But when I go to sleep at night, don't you call my name. Where's your husband, Nellie Kane? Where's your darling gone? Did he go down the mountainside and leave you all alone? Yes, my husband's gone to Bowling Green to do some business there. Then Caleb threw that bottle down, grabbed me by my hair. Caleb Meyer, your ghost is gone, I wear them rattling chains. But when I go to sleep at night, don't you call my name. He threw me in the needle bed, across my dress he lay. Then he pinned my hands above my head, and I commenced to pray. I cried, my God, I am your child, send your angels down. Then feeling with my fingertips the bottleneck I found, I drew that glass across his neck, fine as any blade. Then I felt the blood pour fast and hot around me where I laid. Caleb Meyer, your ghost is gone, I wear them rattling chains. But when I go to sleep at night, don't you call my name. Caleb Meyer, your ghost is gone, I wear them rattling chains. But when I go to sleep at night, don't you call my name. All right, now to the story. All right, that was the song by Gillian Welch. Gypsy Sally's also sang it if you want to go. I mean, I have both songs. I have the one from Gillian Welch, and I have the one from Gypsy Sally's. If you want to go on YouTube and put in Caleb Myers or Gillian Welch or Gypsy Sally's, it'll give you a list of all who sang it. But anyway, on to the story. Now, Caleb Meyer is a modern song. It was written in 1998 by, well, let me just read it for you. I could not find if it is a real person, if Caleb Meyer is a real person back in history. I couldn't find him, and I couldn't find the Nellie Kane either. Now, there's a song named Nellie Kane by Hot Rise in 1979 called Nellie Kane. But there's been speculation that the song is related, but there's no proof. So I couldn't find Caleb Myers or Nellie Kane being a real person. But this is what it says about it. All right, I'll be reading from pluckitblog.wordpress.com. Rape, Revenge, Horror, and Gillian Welch's Caleb Meyer. Okay. Has there ever been a more bone-chilling song about a woman alone than Gillian Welch's Caleb Meyer? Much of the effect comes from the combination of Welch's straightforward manner, refusing to be dramatic, but just telling the story, with David Rawlings' relentless, merciless driving beat on the guitar. But even for those of us who have not experienced anything like this, listening to the song is like watching a car wreck. You don't want to see it, but you can't look away. Gillian Welch sings often of the dark side of life, especially for poor folk in the Appalachian South. Her protagonist, Nellie Kane, is alone and therefore vulnerable, not by choice, but by conditions of her life. She and her husband live in the mountains, but they don't have a 40-acre spread with fences and security. She doesn't have a cell phone to dial her neighbors, and her neighbors are not vacationing yuppies, but this violent drunk moonshiner. They are poor, life is hard in the hills, and this night will be harder. Nellie knows him enough to recognize his voice and come out, however reluctantly. When he calls from outside the house, as usual, the danger is not from strangers. And tonight she underestimates what evil he is capable of. Apparently surprised when she is attacked, the shocking ending of the story finds Nellie in a pool of Caleb's blood. But here's the key question about this song. What is the overall point? That is to say, what genre of story or song are we listening to? The end of the story where Nellie kills Caleb might lead you to describe this as a revenge song. But I suggest that this is dead wrong. To describe this song as a revenge song is to completely miss the tone of the song, the direction of the story, and the character of the protagonist. I suggest rather that this song is not about revenge at all. This is a horror story. Two observations confirm this. First, notice the chorus where Nellie tells Caleb that his ghost will wear them rattling chains, like Marley in A Christmas Carol, bearing the burden of his sins after his death. Only at the end of the song do we realize Caleb is already dead, as Nellie tells the song. But notice the repeated plea. When I go to sleep at night, don't you call my name. Nellie is haunted by Caleb Meyer, even after his death, like a reoccurring nightmare where he calls her out as he did that one fateful night. The second observation is about the climatic event. This is hardly the cavalry coming over the hill. Nellie prays plaintively, "My God, I am your child, send your angels down." What does she get as the answer to her prayer? A broken bottle. It's an ironic answer to prayer. Is this the best you can do, Lord? A broken bottle? But Nellie makes the best of what she's got, and her deliverance is not a satisfying blow against evil, but yet another horror. As she ends up with the carcass of this drunk fool on top of her, drenched in blood, no wonder Caleb haunts her dreams. There is no payoff there. As in a revenge story, where the afflicted person can finally burst out in righteous anger and enjoy the richly deserved downfall of the evil one. Nellie Kane survives and makes no apology for doing so. But she gets no payoff, no satisfaction. She gets only one horror following another and a ghost whose voice she can't get out of her head. The final chorus emphasizes the lack of closure by failing to resolve the chord sequence, finishing without returning to the tonic chord, which leaves the song hanging in the air, so to speak. So if horror is the genre, what is the point? Horror stories or movies, at their worst, think Friday the 13th, can be voyeuristic celebrations of violence, where the villain is actually the protagonist whose gory deeds we are invited to anticipate and enjoy. I never liked horror. But at its best, Stephen King in The Shining, horror is a way of acknowledging the darkest aspects of human life. Things we deeply fear or things we do not fear but should. Horror forces us to look at things as they are, like it or not, and in Meyer, Gillian Welch has given us a horror story that identifies steadfastly with Nellie against her attacker. Here we are forced to acknowledge rape not as an accident, not a misunderstanding, not boys being boys, but as a life-altering horror. There is no moralizing conclusion or political cause at the end, just the voice of Nellie Kane begging the ghost of her attacker to let her sleep at night. If rape is horror, the conclusion draws themselves. And that was all of that. And like I said, Gillian Welch sings it with her husband. I think her husband, David Rawlings, and he sings it with her. And it's on her 1998 album, Hell Among the Yearlings. And also Kayla Myers with the Gypsy Sallies. They recorded it in 2020.